We've been hearing a lot about Vietnam these past few days and how it's changed since the end of the war. But now we want to show you a different view of Vietnam from a tourist perspective, and not just any tourist. Reporter Wendy Rieger and director Mark White recently visited Vietnam as tourists and documented their trip with home video. This is the Vietnam they found.
I never imagined I would find myself on a deserted beach in Da Nang, drinking a beer and listening to an old woman sing to me in French. So this is Vietnam. We arrived in Hanoi on March 20th and were immediately overwhelmed with jet lag, culture shock, and the emotional baggage that many Americans will undoubtedly carry into this country. Because we were Americans, we felt awkward, but we quickly discovered that 20 years after the war, the Vietnam that once returned our fire is now treating American tourists with open curiosity and, in some cases, overwhelming friendliness.
Hello.
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 I rode 100 kilometers one day and I counted how many times people said hello. 411 times.
Where are you from?
We're from America.
America.
This was Thomas, a language teacher who had studied in Moscow. We met him on My Beach in Da Nang. This was China Beach, a place where GIs used to come to relax during the war. Now, hundreds of locals come here at 6 in the morning to do their calisthenics. That night, we were invited to a home in a nearby village. Our host, Anthony, told us that Americans had never been there, and that's why everybody was staring at us.
Wherever you go.
Karaoke is very popular in Vietnam, so much later that night, our host favored us with a song.
Whatever it takes, or how my heart breaks, I still be right here waiting for you.
Very nice.
As we traveled around this region, the people were preparing for the 20th anniversary of the communist takeover. As they celebrated their liberation, we contemplated our defeat. The DMZ is 2 hours north of Hue. The tour takes us over bumpy roads toward the Laotian border, a desolate area inhabited by the Hill people, a minority tribe that lives on stilts. We're heading for the site of one of the longest and bloodiest battles of the war, Khe Sanh. Khe Sanh, a combat base on a plateau, was under siege for 75 days in 1968. Today, the only indication of a battle is the pockmarked ground and a monument erected by the Vietnamese that tells visitors of a base that was built by Americans and Saigon puppets. Children try to sell us old dog tags and shell casings. We were warned that most are fake. Because tourism has not become a major industry yet, Vietnam is stunningly cheap. Most hotels cost between $14 and $25 a night with a bathroom. Dinner for two averages about $3. But there is a troubling side. We often felt like walking dollar signs. Kids at the beach selling peanuts, pineapple, postcards are annoyingly persistent. And even the smallest citizens have a tendency to beg. But there are few places in the world as unspoiled as Vietnam, as untouched by the West. They say Vietnam is now changing by the day, and there are few days left to see it this way.
In 1987, when Vietnam first opened to tourism, 20,000 people visited the country. Next year, that number is expected to reach 2 million.
Coming up later, what a sign of peace, a nest of birds, and a certain car dealership all have in common. It is a picture that caught our eyes and the eyes of many others. We'll explain this.